Salve, Legionnaires, I am RubberB98, and welcome to Spider-Man PS4 update! Finally, there's actually an update, unlike my last video, which was just kind of speculation and a little update. This one, they had a whole 9-minute E3 video, gameplay video of it, so I've taken down a lot of notes. There's upside down, a few pages of notes, because I've watched the trailer a few times. Right here, I'm on Insomniac Games Twitter. I didn't see this before, this just came out, but yeah, this is cool, and now we can break down this. Right here we have one thing I was going to talk about. Oh, before you guys didn't see it, I'm not going to put the trailer in this video, because, well, one, last time I did that, I got the copyright strike, even though it was fair use. I didn't care too much, but then also, it's 9 minutes, like I said. That's too much to put in. But look, here's the new logo, which is cool. They have a lot of things on their website, but right here, something I was going to talk about later, re-elect Osborn for mayor. That means we're going to get Norman Osborn in the universe, maybe never see him, but that does extend if we keep going on this game. This game has sequels and stuff. We might see the Goblin. Oh, this is an awesome scene. But you know what, let me go into my notes, taking my diligent note-taking. Okay, so one of the first things we see in the trailer is Fisk construction on the building that is being attacked. Fisk, Wilson Fisk in the comics, is the Kingpin, who's a big mob boss with no powers, but he's like 6'7", 400 pounds. But he's, later on in the trailer we see he's already in jail, and there's also another trailer I've got to show you guys later, that, or I'll put in the link, that it's a developer talking about it. It's only, what, it says 5 minutes, 34 seconds. It's not that much, but you do get some information. And then we hear Spider-Man talking to Yuri. Yuri Wantabe is a captain in the New York Police Department who works with Spider-Man to catch bad guys. Let's see, it says, and then works with Spider-Man to investigate the gang war between Magia and Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is the main villain in this, it looks like. Mr. Negative is, his name is actually something Lee, Martin Lee. I'm really bad at names. I wrote it down. Martin Lee, yes. He, in the comic books, is a mob. He's in a mob until he gets superpowers, and then he gets his own mob. In this, from what the developer was saying, he owns a food thing to feed homeless people. That's what it's called. Actually, that's might be what this picture's here. Feast. I don't know what Feast is, but I just saw it here. Feast in the comics. This is live research. Food, emergency aid, shelter, and training. Yes, he owns this place. And I guess they said it's a front for his criminal activities. He's actually Aunt May's boss, we also learned, which is pretty cool. So, he's gonna be the main villain. Now if you watch the trailer, we do get a lot of stealth gameplay right away, which is cool for Spider-Man because, I mean, he's quiet a lot. And also, the cool thing is, like, he shot a web, and then it was like a triggered web, so whenever anyone passed it, it shot him and then brought him back. That was really cool. My favorite thing so far is the interactive environment, though, because if you look, he like pulls a crane to knock people out. He hits them with a concrete bag, not a bag made of concrete, a bag with concrete in it. I think he hit him with like a rebar. I think he hit someone with like a rebar thing that was hanging from a crane. Really cool, really cool. And of course, we get a lot of quips. Like when he hit someone, he said, like, should have wore a helmet. And when he's jumping in the helicopter with Lee and kicking the other guy out, he says, like, is this the flight to Newark? Very funny. One downside is QTEs. Now, I did say in the stream the other day, or last night, that I was okay with the QTEs because they look like, instead of putting a cutscene there, you're still in the gameplay, which is what all QuickTime events, if you don't know, do. But problem is, like, it looked like there were quite a lot in just that little demo. Also today at E3 I think it's on YouTube, they're streaming it. They're showing an extended demo. People aren't playing it, the developers are playing it, which is, I don't know. I want to play it. Now we get to the fighting scenes, and fighting is Arkham-esque. And, I mean, it's Arkham-esque, but with more, like, Spider-Man acrobatics, and, like, it's more fluid fighting, it feels like, to me. For me playing the Arkham games, for me seeing this, it looks more fluid, and, like, it looks Spider-Man-esque. Spider-Man-esque. I've said esque a lot. Yeah. And we know that, Mr. Negative, who is, Winston Lee's superhero identity, he has a gang called the Inner Demons. The Inner Demons get their powers, and actually I want to find that because the way they described it was really nice. Inner Demons. Mr. Negative is also accompanied by several henchmen known as his Inner Demons, wearing normal black and white business suits with a demon-style mask. We see that. They use high-tech electrified versions of swords, knuckles, and various other oriental weaponry, such as gun staffs and nunchaku. Mr. Negative has empowered them to be effectively immortal. That's pretty cool. And possess enhanced strength, reflexes, and agility, and it's scrolled down. They are able to regenerate from even the most lethal wounds within a matter of seconds, immediately recovering from implantment, gunshots to the head, and even getting torn apart or decapitated. It is implied that the Inner Demons can be killed under the right circumstances. At one point, Anti-Venom claims to have killed some of them, possibly by suffocation, which he later noticed to be an effective tactic against them. Mr. Negative also orders the murder of 2 Inner Demons who have failed him. Now in the trailer, Spider-Man took them out pretty easily just by, like, knocking them out. Now that doesn't say that they can't be knocked out, so that's another thing. I mean, maybe they'll become more powerful as Mr. Lee, Mr. Negative, realizes Spider-Man is a big threat, and then he makes more powerful, and then that's how the gameplay progresses. It gets harder. That'd be cool. Let's see, what else did I put? Spider-Man said, it sounded like when he was fighting the guy with, like, magic powers is what I called him, is he had, like, things around, he said, like, Higgs field? Cool. But I don't think it was a Higgs field. I think it was part of Mr. Lee's powers, which are Dark Force and Light Force, which allow him to shapeshift, limited, object empowerment, person empowerment, healing touch, corrupting touch, and, you know, he has superhuman strength, and he can lift debris and send Spider-Man flying through small buildings. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm not sure. We also saw a lot of the way he traverses, Spider-Man traverses, when he was chasing the helicopter, because it's full open world, they announced. They said, yes, everything is open as soon as you boot up the game. So if you want to go to Central Park, you can. If you want to take a nice stroll through the park, you can. But we saw, like, Spider-Man wall running, web swinging. He went from web swinging to wall running, back to web swinging, to, like, wall climbing. There's a lot of stuff. We saw him run through a office building that was falling apart, and it wasn't quick time events, which was good. It was just parkour. You had to get through it by parkouring. Okay, so back to the trailer. Martin Lee, we already mentioned when we saw him on the roof. That's when we learned he was Martin Lee. But then they broke the crane, and the crane started falling. And there was a little cutscene, and Spider-Man was holding the crane up, which is awesome how showing it was, until the funny scene where he gets hit, and then he knocks out, and then he wakes up and catches himself, which is really cool. But then there's another quick time event, which allows him to catch the crane, which is a cool quick time event, again, because it's taking away from a cutscene, but it's also, like, because I'm not sure how they would do that with gameplay, because I feel like that would be a really hard thing to do with gameplay. Also, we saw when he was swinging, we saw a bunch of billboards, the one for Osborn for mayor. We also saw the Daily Bugle had a thing. Let's see, and that's when that's when we learned about Captain Wannabe, is what I'm gonna call her, Captain Yuri Wannabe. She was talking to Spider-Man, telling him funny things like, "Could you superhero more?" And he's like, "I'm trying." There were a few things that I noted, but they were just like the Ellie Jude Hotel. That had nothing. That's nothing. There was a billboard for Big City Bank. That was just a generic billboard. But then we got to see more quips from Spider-Man, and then as he knocked the helicopter down, there was another quick time. There was more quick time events, which were pretty cool. They were different looking quick time events, and then you went in first person, and like Shattered Dimensions does, and you had to shoot your webs to catch the helicopter, which was pretty cool. And then he crawls in the helicopter, and Mr. Lee's knocked out, and then he goes full Mr. Negative and attacks Spider-Man, and then that was it. And then the new logo appeared, and it said 2018, and made everyone sad. But also, don't be too sad, because that means they're putting more work into it. The longer it takes to get, hopefully, the better it'll be. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping it comes out before E3 next year. Because I will be very sad if I have to wait another year and then just like get a trailer and then they say I have to wait another half a year. That upset me. Like, I hope it's early 2018. I mean, I hoped it was early 2017. And then at the end of E3, they almost freaked me out. The way E3 did it is the main guy who was presenting everything came out and he's like, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys. Or I'm glad you all came out. Bye, everybody. And then, like, the curtain rose, and then Spider-Man trailer happened. I thought they weren't going to do it, but then they got to close out. And then there was a mini trailer that had, like, a mix of all the trailers for PlayStation. And after it, there was, like, an end credit scene. And we see someone filming, and then his friend's like, Miles, let's go. And then he turns, and it's Miles Morales, and slam a water bottle on the ground is what I did. But yeah, that's all for the trailer. That's everything I've written down and looked up. One more thing I want to talk about is the developer interview, which I've mentioned a few of the things, but I'm just going to read off what I have here. Full open world. Like I said, everything is open. You can do anything and anywhere. Fluid gameplay, they talked about how that was one of the most important things to them. The gameplay has to be fluid. It has to work well, and that's why they're taking so long to get it. If you watch the way the helicopter scene, he was talking about like the water tower breaking. That's something you have to adapt to. So the way he said it makes it seem like some of the world is destructible, which is pretty cool. Unique universe in this. Nothing is not based on any movie or any comic book. What that means is it's going to be like the DC TV shows. It's not based on anything, but they're going to draw in inspiration from everywhere. I mean, obviously we got Yuri, who's already helped Spider-Man in a comic book take down a gang war with Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative's in this, and Yuri's helping take down a gang war, so it is very reminiscent of other comic books. Also, we get Peter Parker. We learned a little more about him. He is 23. He's been Spider-Man for a while. He just graduated college. He's got a job. His normal life is going pretty badly, they said. Like, he's struggling with his normal life. But him as Spider-Man, he's in his prime. They compared him to, like, an Olympic competitor who is great. He's in his prime. Everything he's doing is great. So they're saying there's a conflict. Like, the side of Peter is struggling, but the side of Spider-Man is excelling, and it's a conflict between them. Yeah, and then that's when we learn that it's the inner demons, not just the demons, and he mentioned Mr. Negative a few times. He wouldn't talk much about the story, that's all he would say. But yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, we gotta wait, I don't know, till next year sometime, at least half a year. So it's sad. It's very sad time, but we could get the best Spider-Man game ever, and that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm gonna leave links down to the gameplay, the developer interview, their Twitter, and then this Marvel wiki, if you want, maybe. I don't know. I might forget to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure if you did enjoy it, tweet out at Insomniac. I don't know why. If you're gonna tweet out about this game, use hashtag PS4 or Spider-Man PS4, because Insomniac Games They're really good at sharing fan art and stuff, so if you draw fan art, maybe they'll share it, which is pretty cool. Maybe you should share my video to them and then get billions of retweets. 18 million retweets for Lifetime of Chicken Nuggets. I hope you all enjoyed. I will keep you up to date when there's new Spider-Man news, and I will see you in the next video of Ballet Legionnaires.